amazingly, actually, after really knowing what you do in this job, I go to sleep. And I left, or I was on my way out, and I yelled upstairs to Eli, our 9-year-old son, and said, "Goodbye, Eli, I gotta leave early. I have to get sworn in for speaker." And he said, "Again?" And I imagine that some of you are saying that yourselves right now. It's really wonderful to be back here again, and it's wonderful to be here in front of the body. First, I'd like to thank my family, Melissa, who has been an incredibly supportive spouse over the last 2 years, under very difficult circumstances, and with me being gone and with us having 2 young children. She has just been phenomenal, and I'm very lucky to be there. And to my mother and my stepfather, who are here today, and who weren't here the first time I was sworn in, but who have been incredibly supportive parents throughout my journey as I was growing up. It wasn't the easiest kid to deal with. Some of you might find that unsurprising. I'm sure my mother was surprised to hear, David, that I didn't show my temper in public. Learned still. And they have just been incredibly supportive throughout this, and I have been supportive over the last 2 years. I know that when my mom, I actually blocked my caller ID, so when I call, my mother will pick up the phone. She knows exactly what it's for. Do you mind picking up the kids today? Right? So thank you very much, and thank you to my brother Spencer, who's here and who occasionally gives me constructive feedback, which is unusual. I'd also like to thank Secretary Markovitz for her service over the last 12 years. Thank you to everyone here, my colleagues and partners in the legislative process, for entrusting me again with this great honor and responsibility. It's one that I don't take lightly, and I pledge to continue to work as hard as possible to serve you and the state of Vermont. 2 years ago, I stood before you as the state and the country, indeed the world, faced an unparalleled economic crisis. Many parts of the economy were on the verge of collapse. Our state budget faced unprecedented pressures, and we were unsure how we would meet even the most fundamental responsibilities that state government provides to its citizens. We stand here now, having weathered much of the economic storm. Working together with the current administration and with the assistance of the federal delegation, we have endeavored to keep this commitment to Vermonters. We will help those most vulnerable and will make investments in Vermont that will ensure a strong future. While we have faced significant short-term budgetary challenges and addressed them responsibly, we have not lost sight of the long-term challenges. Over the last 2 years, we have made many investments in our state's infrastructure, improving our roads and bridges while creating jobs for Vermonters when they were most in need. Our state is stronger for it in the long term we will continue on this course over the next biennium. We've answered the call of business leaders and farmers to create greater access to capital and workforce training. We made strategic investments in programs that created jobs and grew our economy. We took bold action to return solvency to our unemployment insurance trust fund. Our actions have kept Vermont's unemployment rate one of the lowest in the country and set us on a path for a stronger economy going forward. I pledge to you that we will continue these efforts to put Vermonters back to work this year. With continued investments in our energy infrastructure, we took steps towards a sustainable energy future while creating good-paying jobs. That work must continue, and I'm confident that Vermont will retain its place as a leader in the green economy. The passage of Act 128 put our state on a path for healthcare reform. In 2 weeks, Dr. Shap will deliver to this body a preliminary framework that will allow us to take action to ease the tremendous financial burden Vermont families and small businesses face every day and bring peace of mind to those currently without coverage. I look forward to a vigorous discussion in the coming weeks and months. Education is and always has been one of the fundamental building blocks of our society. Our schools have long fueled the civic and economic vitality of this state. Our primary and secondary schools achieve results that place our education system in the top 5 in the country. We have outstanding institutions of higher learning. We can't rest on our laurels. To compete on the national and global level, we must continuously improve the quality of education in our state. It is vital to our economic success, and over the next biennium, we will work together with the educational community and the business community to ensure that schools have the tools and the flexibility they need to develop a trained workforce to compete in the 21st century. We're here considered one of the greenest states and one of the healthiest states. I believe that we must also be considered the education state. Schools, businesses, and families across Vermont are feeling the effects of rising energy costs. State government is not immune. In addition to continuing to develop affordable clean energy alternatives, there is much work to be done in the areas of energy efficiency and weatherization. And we, as a state government, must lead by example. This session, I will ask the Committee on Institutions and Corrections, to work with the incoming administration to implement a build-out and financing plan to improve the energy efficiency of our building stock by 20%. By taking action to make our state buildings more energy efficient, state government will show the way for Vermont households, schools, and businesses. The environmental benefit is huge, the budget savings will be significant, and many Vermont jobs will be created. And it's the right thing to do. When weighing the difficult choices we will undoubtedly face this session, I ask you to keep in mind what gives Vermont its character. Our independent nature, our commitment to a beautiful working landscape and pristine environment, our strong educational values, our dedication to healthcare for all, and the strong work ethic of all of our citizens. Keeping in mind these values, we can achieve great things, strengthen our communities, and ensure our continuing economic vitality. As a body, we have much to be proud of and much to look forward to in the coming biennium. The economic challenges confronting our state are real. The short-term and long-term budgetary pressures are profound. Now is the time to think creatively about how we continue to keep our commitment to Vermonters, especially the most vulnerable of our friends. biennium, we saw what great progress we can make when we roll up our sleeves and put our heads together. We got tough things done, and our state is better off. I look forward to moving forward with that same mentality as we work together with the incoming administration to foster a bright Vermont future. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge one thing. Next week, for the first time in 38 years, Representative Kobahowski-Brodsky will not be sitting in his chair. He has been a great friend, an incredible mentor, and the glue that has held this House together for many years. And while others will be leaving as well, it's important to recognize and acknowledge the incredible work that Mike Kobahowski has done for the state of Vermont for the past 30 years. And anybody who knows how Will works knows that his fingerprints, although not identifiable, will be upon a lot of stuff that happens. Good luck. We have much to do. We should be greatly excited for the opportunity that we have been given by the citizens of Vermont. It's time to get to work. When we are officially sworn in and during announcements, I will announce committee assignments as I did 2 years ago on the first day. I apologize in advance to the extent that I have not been able to talk to people about their individual committee assignments. And if you are thankful, thank the members of your leadership